What's ripening, YouTube? So I was going to be doing something else today, but it's a little bit too windy. I was going to be putting cardboard down and doing a big mulching area. But it's rainy and super windy, and the cardboard doesn't lay down when it's windy, so I gave up on that. So instead I'm going to do, this will be episode 2 of the Forest Cuisine. And I'm thinking we're going to do a pumpkin soup or pumpkin curry. I haven't decided yet. But out here I'm noticing I have a lot of pumpkins. Here we go. I got these guys. These are called Seminole Pumpkins. Come in all different shapes and sizes. This one looks ready to go. The stem's starting to turn a little bit tan colored. So I'm just gonna go ahead and harvest like that. Beautiful. Here's another one right here. There's 2. Let me put my clippers away. I'm trying to do this with one hand. And that's what I'm going to use as the base. These Seminole pumpkins are extremely easy to grow. Let's see if I can grab them with one hand. Here we go. They're extremely easy to grow. I actually planted the seeds in the middle of a drought, like a pretty severe drought. They germinated, they grew, and I even was already harvesting before the rains came. So they're pretty amazing. They were supposedly part of the staple diet of the native people in Florida back in the day. And I'm gonna drop them. Oh, obviously I can't hold them forever. But yeah, super easy to grow. Nice little pumpkin. I'll show you here in a second what I do with them. So stay tuned. All right, so just got home with what I picked. Here's my coconut stash. Here's the pumpkins I picked, lemongrass. And here's the coconut that I drank this morning. So this is the one I'm going to make some coconut milk out of. If you don't have coconuts, you can always buy it, I'm sure you know, you can buy it in the can or in different containers. You can use that. I'm going to use this because I have it. And I like using fresh. There's no preservatives or anything. But don't let that stop you if you want to make the same recipe. Just get a can of coconut milk, no big deal. I'm going to go inside and get ready. All right, so all I did, I brought these in, rinsed them off, and really easy. I just have to cut them in half. Like so. There's the inside. Now you can scrape the seeds out beforehand, or you can do it after you cook them. Either way works. Smells really nice. Smells just like, reminds me of Halloween. Smells really good, pumpkin smell. You can cut the other one real quick. And I'm doing this first because I'm going to actually bake these in the oven, so that's what's going to take the longest. So what I've done, or what I'm about to do, is just, here's the other one. Pretty simple. So the next thing I do is, I've got a couple of these baking sheets, and I just put the pumpkins down with the cut facing down. Here's the other one facing down. Just like that. There's one more. Cut facing down. Cut facing down. And the reason why I do cut facing down is because if you face them up, it'll dry them out. I'm just gonna preheat the oven. 350. I probably should have done that first, but I forgot. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and put these in the oven. There's one there. And no, it doesn't have to be perfect. We're just cooking. Cooking doesn't have to be hard. All right, it's preheating. Last time I did this, I cooked them for about an hour. I only had one pumpkin in there. So this time I'm preheating and it's got more in the oven. So I'm just gonna set the timer for like, let's see, I'll set it for 75 minutes, so that's an hour and 15. And let that go. And in the meantime, I'm gonna make a little bit of coconut milk and I'm gonna gather some ingredients. And all right, so I'm gonna try to flip these over if I can with just a spatula, since that first one tried to flop on me. Stems come right off when they're cooked. Oh, there we go. Just flip this over. Not perfect, but... So, I kind of screwed up a little bit because they collapsed. So I probably should have scooped out these seeds first, but anyways, you can see it's pretty delicate in here. All I'm going to do is scoop out the seedy part and set that aside on all these, and then go back and scoop out all the flesh and put it into my Vitamix. All right, so here's where we're at. I've just scooped in this container. I've got half of one of the pumpkins. I've got about 1.25 cups of coconut milk, and then probably another maybe 1/2 cup of water. And that's pretty much filling up my blender. So I'm going to be doing this in batches. What I'm going to add to this to make this a curry style soup is, well, first one is curry powder. So first thing I'm going to add is some curry powder, and you can do as much as you want. I'm doing 4 batches, so I'm going to actually put more than I need in this one, probably a tablespoon or maybe a little bit more. I use garam masala, and this is stuff that I get from the Indian grocery store. You can usually find it at the grocery store, any grocery store, but I like to go to the Indian ones because they have more authentic stuff. It smells so good. I like to put a little extra coriander. That's optional. Just another flavoring. And then the pumpkin's kind of sweet, and it's going to be kind of savory with the coconut milk. So I like to add a little spice. I've got cayenne here. Yeah, it looks like a lot, but this is going to be blended with some other batches that aren't going to be seasoned. A little bit of garlic powder. If you have garlic, like you could put garlic in there when you were roasting, and you could roast the garlic with it. That'd be a really good way to do that. Salt. I use the pink Himalayan salt. I usually don't use a lot to begin with because I like to have it with me when I'm eating, so I can control how much salt I take in, because I just don't like to have that much. But that's kind of the basic mixture there. Like I said, this will be batches, so I'm going to taste this after it's been blended and adjust accordingly. So we'll see how it goes. It's too thick, so I'm going to get a little bit more water. Let's see. Alright, mixed up that time. And it comes out kind of looking like baby food. And just give it a little taste. So you saw I didn't put any salt in it, which it definitely needs. The cayenne's a little strong, So I'm probably not going to add any more cayenne to the rest of the batch that I do. I'm gonna have 4 batches, so I'll probably use that and mix it with the rest of it. Yeah, it needs salt. Oh, the other thing I'm going to add to it is some cinnamon. Let's see, cinnamon gives it kind of a nice, kind of a Thanksgiving flavor. I'm going to add that probably throughout the batch. Let's see. Can't really do this salt shaker without taking my hands off the thing. So anyway, imagine I was putting salt in there. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to get it all mixed together, and there's a couple more ingredients at the end I'll show you. I'm on the last batch now. One thing I like to add a little bit of at the end is a little sweetener. This is a coconut palm sugar. You can also use some kind of honey or maple syrup or whatever, molasses, I don't know. Use some kind of sweetener just to give it a little balance in case you got too much. If you get too much salt in there or too much whatever else, you can balance it out with the sweetness. And then at the end, I like to add, let's see what we have. I like to add some green onions. I'm just going to slice these up and put them on top. And then optionally you can add other greens, but that's all I'm going to do for now. I'm going to keep it kind of simple. I'm just going to see if I taste the sweetness difference at all. Yeah, it actually does make a difference. This is the last batch. I'm going to add it. I've been putting it all in here. I've got kind of a gigantic batch, so I'm going to put a little bit more sugar in there. Oh, one last thing you can add if you want. I made this a while back. This is actually from my house, from my yard. This is moringa powder. You just take the leaves and put them in the dehydrator and then blend them all up dry. It makes this powder. This is a lot more palatable than eating the leaves raw. I don't personally like the raw leaves, but this stuff is pretty decent. So it's a good way to get in a lot of extra nutrients that way. If you don't add a crazy amount, it actually doesn't really show up in the flavor profile. So I like to sneak it into like salad dressings and soups. So yeah, consider if you grow moringa. A lot of people in my area grow moringa because it's easy to grow. A lot of people don't use it though because they don't know what to do with it. So there's an idea for you. So that's that. Pour this in with the rest. I'm going to stir that up. Stir it all up, and if it's missing anything, any flavors, I'll add a little bit here and there, but mainly it's the pumpkin. The coconut milk is the base of the soup, and then you can season it however you like. And if you want more consistency in this, you can add like chopped shredded carrots, or you could add something if you kind of want, you know, more of a, maybe not so much a baby food type soup. When I serve this, I serve it with the green onions. What do you call it? Sliced green onions, and also cilantro, and then I'll have salt and pepper on the table, and that's it. Really basic, easy thing to make. Again, if the coconut milk you can buy the cans, the pumpkin you can even buy at the grocery store if you're not growing it already. It's usually pretty inexpensive, especially if you go to like a Latin grocery store. It's like, I don't know, $1 a pound or maybe a little more than that. But pretty good little recipe. Takes a lot of tweaking. You know, sorry I don't give complete directions on that, but that's just the way I cook. Hopefully that gave you some information. Try it out. Let me know what you think, and give me a comment if you have any other questions. All right.